Goal setting, because what happens is a lot of times we set goals that we don't accomplish, right? Or New Year's resolutions that we don't accomplish. In fact, most people don't end up accomplishing their New Year's resolutions. So I'm going to give you some good key ways to make sure that you are accomplishing your goals and your New Year's resolutions. First thing is to get crystal clear, clarity. Clarity, because what happens is sometimes we're not clear on what it is that we really want, right? And you have to make sure that what you really want, what your goals are.
Welcome to the Boss Ladies Mindset channel, powered by Crown for Success, the largest women's empowerment network for soulful CEOs on social media. We are a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in business and mindset mastery. Each one of our episodes will share valuable tips, resources, interviews, and empowering information that will help boss ladies design a life and business they're crazy as fuck about.
So for those of you who are new to me, because it looks like a lot of you are, let me introduce myself. My name is Wendy Porter. I'm the soul and sass behind Crown for Success and Boss Ladies Mindset. And we are the largest women's empowerment network for soulful CEOs on social media, with a following of over 1.5 million women between our pages that we have. And we are also a coaching business that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in both business and mindset mastery. So my experience, my background was I was in corporate America for 15 years. My specialty was going into struggling staffing companies and turning them into multi-million-dollar businesses. About 7 years ago, I went through cancer, and I really went through like a self-discovery, soul-searching phase in my life where I felt like there had to be more to life than what I was doing. I was missing out on my 3 kids because I was working 10 to 12 hours a day. So I went on this journey to try to figure out what is my purpose in life, and I discovered that my passion has always been empowering women. I've always been women's biggest cheerleader. I never understood why women tear each other down. I was heavily bullied in 7th and 8th grade for being the new kid in town, and also being an overachiever and being the cute girl. And so I was bullied, and all the girls hated me, all the guys loved me. And that experience really taught me that there's enough room for all of us to make it to the finish line. We're not each other's competitors. We're each other's sisters, and we should be there to lift each other up, not tear each other down. So it was through my passion of empowering women and my experience of building these multi-million-dollar businesses that I decided that I was going to combine the two together and create this phenomenal business that I had no clue was going to turn into what it is today. So I took my experience and my passion, combined them together, and became a coach that mentors and motivates women to reach their highest potential in both business, mindset, mastery. Because if your mind isn't right, your business isn't going to be either. So I teach women how to become financially independent through entrepreneurship. So that's what I do. So here I am, and tonight we are going to talk about how to create a 6-figure business through goal setting and resolutions. Okay, so that's what my training is going to be on tonight. I was able to build a 6-figure business within 8 months and retire that soul-sucking job that I had. And today we're a multi-million-dollar business. So I'm going to kind of give you some tips and some ideas and some information on about how to create this business that you love, that you desire, and how to create goals around it, okay, that are sustainable, that you can accomplish. So you'll hear my kids right now because they're all, downstairs trying to get, I guess, food for dinner. So they're grabbing stuff to eat. You might hear the dogs. So those are the luxuries of working from home. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So goal setting, because what happens is a lot of times we set goals that we don't accomplish, right? Or New Year's resolutions that we don't accomplish. In fact, most people don't end up accomplishing their New Year's resolutions. So I'm going to give you some good key ways to make sure that you are accomplishing your goals and your New Year's resolutions. First thing is to get crystal clear, clarity. Clarity, because what happens is sometimes we're not clear on what it is that we really want, right? And you have to make sure that what you really want, what your goals are, what you create your goals around are in alignment with what you truly want and desire. Okay? So get super clear on what it is that you want. And then, and here's an example. Like you can be saying, I want to create $1 million business, right? No brainer. I'm going to put that on my list of my resolutions and my goals is that I want to create $1 million business. But is it in alignment with what you truly want and desire? Because you may also at the same time be thinking, well, I don't know that I want to work 50 to 60 hours a week building a multi-million dollar business. I don't know that I want to work that hard, or I don't know that I want to give up that much time, or I don't know that I want to spend that much time away from my kids or focus on a business. So you might have all these other things that are not in alignment with what it is that you truly want. I know for me, one of the things that I was that my ex-husband at the time was like super intimidated by my success. So I was saying I wanted to build this multi-million dollar business, but then also internally I was struggling with how do I balance him not being intimidated by my success, right? So how do I balance him, will I be too much for him? Will my success make him more insecure, right? Needless to say, he's my ex-husband today. So you've got to match the two. You got to figure out, what it is that you really want, the big picture, and what it is that you really desire, and make sure it's in alignment with each other. Because there are a lot of times where we say that we want this, but everything in us is fighting against it. And we feel a different way. And remember, we create our realities based on our actions and how we feel. And that's what the universe feels. The universe can feel what we are feeling and delivers to you, what you truly feel. You can say, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm all these things all day long. You can say that, but if the internal feeling is completely opposite, then you're telling the universe something totally different. So clarity on what it is that you really, really, truly want, and make sure it's in alignment with what you want. So are you ready to do what it takes to build that $1 million business? Are you okay with working 10 hours a day for the first year that you're in business? Are you okay with being too much for somebody? Are you okay with your friends and family maybe not supporting you? Does that matter to you? So you've got to figure out, is it in alignment to get crystal clear on what it is that you truly want, and make sure that your goals that you create are in alignment with what you want. Okay. Okay. So number one step is clarity. And then, number two is create your top 5 to 10 goals based on that clarity. So what is your top 5 to 10 goals for your business or for your future business? And what would you like to accomplish in those 5 to 10 goals? And you can make them, what I always say is that I'm sure all of you know, like SMART goals, right? SMART, SMART goals. I don't really get too heavily into that, because I always say, you do want to make sure that I say make some of them attainable, but also make some that are a little bit above your reach too, so that it challenges you, right? So it challenges you to up level. So, make them, some of them can be attainable where you can accomplish it, but then make a few of them where it's gonna make you reach up and elevate, right? So figure out what your top 5 to 10 goals are, write them down. Next thing is that you can put it on a vision board. So I'm actually gonna do vision boards tomorrow. So I'm gonna do my vision board for the year. And I like creating vision boards because I like to see it. I like to see what my goals are. I like to be able to see them in front of me every day, because to me, it's a reminder for me every single day. So the next one, so your top 5 to 10 goals, write them down, put them somewhere visual where you can see them. Number 3 is, why do you want to achieve them? So ask yourself, why is it that you want to achieve them? And the reason why you want to ask yourself why you want to achieve them is because when you start feeling like you don't, like you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish them this year. Woe is me. I just want to like crawl in a little ball and like forget about it. Go back to your why. So you want to journal, get a pretty journal for yourself, journal your why. Why do you want to accomplish those goals? And hold on to that why when you feel like giving up, because we all feel like giving up. I feel like giving up sometimes. Everybody feels like giving up on their goals and their dreams. We're human. We go through those phases. So when you are at your worst and you're feeling down and you're questioning why you're doing it all and nothing seems to be going right for you and it's one hurdle after another, go back to your journal and look at your why. So why do you want to accomplish those goals? Make a list of why you want to accomplish them. Why is it important to you? And remind yourself why you're in it, okay? So that's number 3. Number 4 is think about what roadblocks or hurdles could potentially stop you or hinder you from achieving your goal, okay? So what hurdles or roadblocks could potentially happen that might stop you from achieving that goal? So what could happen? Write down what could happen, that, like, who knew a pandemic would happen, right? So that set a lot of people's goals completely, like, just off the radar. But who knew that could happen? But write down what could potentially happen where I wouldn't be able to achieve this. And then make an action plan around it. So if this happened, then I know I can, do this. Or, make an action plan about how you could overcome that hurdle, how you can get over that hurdle, how you can overcome that roadblock so that you're mentally prepared for anything that's thrown to you. So you're mentally prepared. If this happened, then you know what? I go to plan B and I can do this. This is my action plan just in case. Just in case this, the unthinkable happens, or just in case this happens. And I'm sure there's lots of people out there, especially brick and mortar businesses, that wish they would have had a plan of action just in case something like the pandemic happened. Like, if the pandemic happened, maybe I should invest in an online business coach who can teach me how to take at least 50% of my sales online so that my business doesn't, fall apart. So there's a ton of brick and mortar companies, I'm sure, that wish they would have thought about that. And so what could potentially happen that would hinder you from achieving that goal? Write it down and write down an action plan how you could move around that. Okay. It's number 4. Number 5 is visualize achieving your goals. So sit down. Visualization, goal setting is so powerful, and I've been doing this, and it's really what's catapulted. Every year I write out my goals, and I achieve at least 80% of my goals every single year. So, and I swear that what took me from like 50% of my goals of achieving 50% to 80% is visualization. Sit down every single day, visualize each one of your goals. So if you have 5 goals, sit down and visualize it every single day. And not just visualization, but also feeling it. So how would you feel if you accomplish that goal? So if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, how would you feel? What would your life look like? What would you do different? Where would you live? What kind of car would you drive? What kind of sheets would you be waking up on? What kind of vacations would you be taking? What would your life look like if you could make $10,000 per month, right? And not just visualize it, but feel it while you're visualizing it. It's extremely powerful, because anytime that we're trying to accomplish something with the universe, we've got to feel it in order for it to put power behind it. Okay? So visualization every single day, and feel those goals. Feel as if those goals have already been accomplished. How would you feel? What would you be doing? How much money would you have in your bank account? What house would you be in? What car would you be driving? What does that look like for you? What does that feel like for you? How do you feel? Do you feel grateful? Do you feel humbled? Do you feel excited? Do you feel like you want to cry? Like, what are you feeling? Okay? So sit in those visualizations every single day for at least 10 minutes. It's not that long, 10 minutes a day. We can do that, right? The next one is, number 6, is create an action plan for each goal. So just like you created a plan B and an action plan just in case a hurdle happens, you've got to create an action plan for each goal, because a goal without an action plan is nothing more than just a wish. Okay? A goal without an action plan is nothing more than just a wish. So we've got to turn that goal into reality. And the way that we do that is through inspired action, right? So what can we do? We ask ourselves, what can we do today that is going to get me closer to achieving this goal? What can I do today that's going to get me closer to achieving that goal? So create an action plan for every single goal that you have. So you write your goal down. The next little thing that you write under that should be action plan and what it is, okay? What that means to you. So if your goal is to go from $2,000 a month in your business to $5,000 a month, what is the action plan that's going to take you there? What does that mean? What do you have to do to get there? Do you have to do more lives? Do you have to, call more people? Do you have to do Facebook ads, Instagram ads? Do you have to do more cold calling? Do you have to send more messages in the DM? Like, what do you need to do to go from 2,000 to 5,000? What is that action plan behind that? Okay. Number 7 is to bite size your goals. Okay. It's to break them down. So you're going to create 5 to 10 big grandiose goals that you can meet or that you can achieve by the end of the year, right? So they're going to be bigger goals. Some of them are going to be completely attainable. Others are going to require you to elevate a little bit and push a little bit harder. Okay. So bite size them. So take those goals, those 5 to 10 main goals that you have, and now bite size them. And by bite sizing them, I mean break them down into daily to-dos, right? Keep a daily to-do list. Break those goals, those 5 to 10 goals down to daily to-dos. So I want to make $10,000 a month. What are my daily to-dos around that? What do I need to do every single day to achieve $10,000 extra per month by the end of the year? What do I need to do, right? So daily to-dos that you can maybe write down in your journal, or you can write them on a whiteboard somewhere visible that you can see it. You can write it in your phone. But what are your daily to-dos? Okay. So what are those daily to-dos that are going to take you to that next level of achieving that bigger goal for the year? Okay. Number 8, have an accountability system. Okay. So I'm going to share with you my accountability system, what I do. I do self-accountability system, but you can do a business bestie, you can do your spouse, you can do, your best friend, it doesn't matter, who you have that can kind of be your accountability system. I do a self system, and the way that I do it is that my daily to-dos that I write down, my goal is to accomplish at least 80% of those on a daily basis. Okay. So for everybody else who's just new to doing this type of goal setting, I would say probably make it more like 40% or 50%. Make that your initial goal. And then you could, because it took me a couple years to get to 80%. I started at maybe 20%, even accomplishing 20% of your daily to-dos. Imagine how far you would be a year from now, right? If you did 2 extra things every single day. That took you closer to achieving your goal. So a daily to-do list and an accountability system on that to-do list. So the way that I do it, it's a self-accountability system. I write down I do 10 daily to-dos, and my goal is to accomplish at least 80% of them. So I'm getting 8 out of the 10 accomplished. If I get 8 out of the 10 accomplished every single day, at the end of the week, I reward myself. And that reward system can be something like, I don't know, the new pair of shoes that I was eyeballing for like a month now. Or it could be just a hot bubble bath with some wine. Or it could be, I'm going to take Friday off and have a 3-day weekend. So whatever that reward system looks like for you. And the way that I keep track of that is that you can, when I used to do it, what I did was I emailed it to myself. So if I, on Monday, if I accomplished, 80%, I would email myself, congratulations. So congratulations. That way I look at the end of the day, at the end of the week, I'm looking, and I should have 5 emails to myself that say, congratulations, you've accomplished your to-dos this week. So whatever that is for you, however you want to do it, to me, like I looked forward to that. So on Friday, I was like, yes, I got my 5 emails. I accomplished 80% of my to-dos every day. And now I can reward myself. So number 9 is reward yourself, right? Because you've got to have a reward system, because we are trained from a very young age to, to that we are rewarded for good work. Like, yay, she went potty, when you're potty training your kid, or, yay, you got an A, or, we get cute little stickers, those little star stickers that were silver, blue, and red. And maybe I'm totally outdating myself. I know I used to love the blue shiny stickers. So whatever that is for you, your reward system, make sure you have one, because it makes goal setting so much more fun. And it also makes it to where you want to accomplish your goals. You look forward to accomplishing your goals. You look forward to achieving that daily to-do list. So reward system is number 9. Create a reward system. Accountability system's number 8, and whatever that looks like for you. My accountability was a self-accountability system, and it was me emailing, congratulations, you've achieved your goals this week. And then that way, at the end of the week, I know I have 5 emails that I've achieved it. And if you don't achieve your goal, so if I didn't achieve 80%, and let's say I only got, out of the 10 things, the to-dos that I had, and I only got 5 done, then what I did was I took those other 5 that I didn't get done, and I put it on the next day, right? And then if I didn't get them all, at least the 80% done the next day, then I put the rest of them on the next day, and so forth, right? So I hope that helps you ladies. That's my 9 ways of making goal setting a lot more fun, and also a lot more achievable. You can actually achieve goals when you break them down like that, right? So if you guys have any questions, I'll take cues for a few minutes. Let's see, I have some here. So I get worn out and try to stay motivated. Yes, it can happen. I mean, it does happen. Some ways to stay motivated is to journal. That's one way to stay motivated. Affirmations is another way to stay motivated. Or just even watching. If you tune into this page, we have a ton of motivating posts every single day. So just, even just looking at posts or YouTube videos on motivation is a great way to stay motivated. So next question, how do you stay focused with so much overwhelming competition? Honestly, I don't even look at it as competition. So I know that sounds crazy, but I don't look at it as competition. And I even call competitors, I call them friendly competitors. Because there is only one of you in this entire world, right? Nobody can compete with that. Nobody. There's only one of you. Doesn't matter what your business is. It doesn't matter what you do. There's only one of you in this entire world. So if you are taking your business and you're infusing your personality into your business, then you have an original business that nobody else has, because there's only one of you in this entire world. So I don't even look at competitors, because I don't feel like there is any competition. I feel like there's enough room for all of us to make it to the finish line. And you have to remember, where there's a Burger King, there's a McDonald's. Where there's a Shell gas station, there's an Exxon. Where there's a Farmers, there's a State Farm. So there is no competition. There's enough room for all of us to finish, and all of us to make it to that finish line and succeed. Okay? So don't even waste your time or energy even thinking about competition. There is no competition. Okay? So next one is, can I skim through the steps again? Yes. So the 9 steps of goal setting to create a 6-figure business. So getting crystal clear on what your goals are. That's number 1. Number 2, writing down your top 5 to 10 goals for the year that you'd like to accomplish. Number 3, why do you want to achieve them? So your why for each goal. So why do you want to achieve them? Number 4, what roadblocks or hurdles could come up to stop you from achieving them? And an action plan or a plan of action that would get you around that hurdle or roadblock. Number 5, visualize achieving them. So you can do a vision board, or you can sit in visualization each day and feel them. Number 6, create an action plan for each goal, because without an action plan, it's just a wish. Okay. Number 7 is bite-size them or break them down into bite-size pieces. So doing your daily to-dos is bite-size. Number 8 is have an accountability system. And number 9 is have a reward system. Okay. Next question. How was your journey on finding your purpose? Because I went through cancer, it wasn't the most pleasant journey, but it was the most rewarding journey, right? But you don't have to go through something like that, or you don't have to struggle, or you don't have to hit rock bottom to find your purpose. You can find your purpose by not having to do that. In fact, I will do a training on that. I just gave it in one of my Facebook groups on how to find your purpose, passion, and calling in life. So if that interests you all, I can do a training on that later this week. Because again, I am providing. So yeah, I can do trainings on that. If this is what, if you guys want trainings on that, let me know. If you'd like me to do some trainings on finding your purpose, passion, calling in life, and also how to overcome fear and self-sabotage. So if that interests you, let me know by giving me some heart emojis, and I will definitely do a training on that. Okay. Next question. How can we keep ourselves disciplined to make sure we make our goals happen? So discipline and focus is probably the number one thing that we have to have in order for our businesses to succeed and be successful. And it takes a lot of effort. And I think that when you are doing something that you're truly passionate about, it's easy for the discipline and focus to come because you're so passionate about it that you don't mind waking up in the middle of the night to get it done, or you don't mind, losing sleep and waking up at the crack of dawn. If you're not an early person like me, you don't mind getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and working on it when you're really passionate about it. And this is why I teach women how to build businesses that they absolutely love, their dream businesses. I don't teach you just to build a business to monetize. The monetization will come when you do something that you love. My goal is to teach women how to build businesses that they truly desire and love, because then it makes life so much easier and so much more dreamy to be able to really be doing something you love every single day. And it's effortless, right? When we're doing something we love, it's effortless. So the discipline and the focus almost come naturally. And you can learn focus through the goal setting techniques that I gave you. You can learn focus through daily to-dos. So those things you can learn how to do. So discipline is difficult because we're conditioned from a very young age to work in corporate America. That's what, schools teach us. They don't teach entrepreneurship. So we're taught at a very young age that we're supposed to, go to college, get a degree, and then go work for somebody else for the rest of our lives and make them rich, right? That's what we're taught. And so discipline comes by clocking in, clocking out, having a boss to report to, having somebody write you up if you're late, having attendance issues, getting in trouble, getting fired. So you have no choice but to learn discipline, right? When you're an entrepreneur, it's all you. And you have to learn self-discipline, which is very difficult to transition to when you've been working in corporate America for a long time and you're used to clocking in, clocking out, and having somebody, hold you accountable to what you do every day. When you go into entrepreneurship, I feel like that's a lot of the reason why so many people fail in entrepreneurship is because they lack the self-discipline, because they are never really taught that. College, school doesn't really teach us that. We're not taught entrepreneurship, which we should be, but we're not. And so it does require a lot of self-discipline. But again, I feel like if you are doing something that you're absolutely crazy about and you are absolutely passionate about, you're going to get up and you're going to make it happen. That self-discipline and the focus really come almost naturally. Another thing that helps me is time blocks. Like I work in time blocks. It's called power hours. I call it 2-hour power hours because that's about the focus that I have. Like I have shiny object syndrome. Ooh, it's shinier over there. No, it's shinier over there. So I'm constantly literally all over the place and my mind is constantly thinking and I'm always I can get distracted very easily. So, discipline can be difficult for me even sometimes. what helps with that is for me to block out 2 hours where I say, you know what, for the next 2 hours, this is all I'm focused on, is just this XYZ. And then I take a break for 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour if I need to be all over the place and, do a million things or check social media, or I feel like I need to, I feel like I'm, being distracted by a shiny object. I wait after I've been focused for those 2 hours. So I call it being in the zone. So I'm in the zone, and everybody knows when I'm in the zone because I've completely zoned everything else out and I'm just in the zone. And so I do it in 2-hour increments throughout my day. So some days I have 3 2-hour increments. Some days I have 2 2-hour increments. Some days I have 4 2-hour increments. It just depends on how much I have going on for that day. How big is my to-do list? How time consuming is it? So some days I work 4 hours. Some days I work 10 hours. It just really depends. But I know that in entrepreneurship, self-discipline, focus can be extremely difficult. If you have shiny object syndrome like me, where you're all over the place, you get distracted easily, then try the 2-hour power hours or 1-hour power hour, whatever works for you, where you know that for the next 2 hours, this is all you're focused on. Then you can do whatever you want to do. Go take a nap, go take the dogs for a walk, go outside, go exercise, go get Starbucks, whatever it is that you want to do. And then when you come back, you set, okay, from 2 to 4 is going to be my next 2-hour power hours, right? So hopefully that helps. Okay, this is an interesting. If you could go back to when you were 20, what would you do differently? Or do you have any advice for 20-year-olds? Yes, I would not focus on fuckboys, and I would have started a business at 20 years old. So my focus was totally off base. So let's, kind of what I would recommend is like, don't do it. Don't do it. Cause when I was in my 20s, my focus was totally on boys. So, don't do it. Start a business instead. Yeah. And I'm in my 40s now, so I've definitely have, grown quite a bit since when I was in my 20s, but I would say that's the best advice I could give us 20-year-olds was, to don't focus on those fuckboys, focus on a business instead. They will always be there, girl. Always. Okay. Yeah, I was actually married too. I was married at 23. I already had my first baby when I was 23 years old. So I have 3 kids. So I have a 24-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, and I have a 13-year-old. So, yeah. So don't do it, ladies. Focus on you. Focus on you. There's plenty of time for all of that. And I always tell my 24-year-old, please don't get married. Please don't do it until you're at least 30. Live your life, travel, see the world. Because I wish I would have traveled more. I'm in love with traveling now and have been for the last 10 years. But I wish I would have done it when I was younger. So that's another thing that I would say do is travel. You get so many life experiences through traveling. It's just incredible. The world is incredible. It's an incredible place. And there's so much culture out there. So go travel, focus on yourself, focus on your business, leave them boys alone. Okay. All right. You are welcome. Thanks for asking it. This one. All right. So about how long does it take to see profit from a business? I'm currently 6 months in. So I will tell you from my own experience that what I did was for about 4 or 5 months before I officially opened up my business, all I did was focus on building my Instagram page and provide value to my audience, just pure value. I didn't charge them for anything. I didn't ask for the sell for about 3 to 4 or 5 months. Okay. Because you have to nurture your audience first, and you have to build that KLT factor, that know, love, trust factor with them before they're going to buy from you, especially online. It's critical because it's not tangible. They can't walk into the store and purchase it off the rack. And so because of that, online sales is a little bit more difficult, so that you have to build that know, love, trust factor with your audience first before they can trust that they can purchase from you and buy from you, and that you're going to be there every single day. So building that know, love, trust factor for a few months is what I did. And then then what I did was I opened up a membership. So it was a business building membership. And you all, we do have a business building membership still today. If anybody's interested in joining that, it's $33 per month. And it's called Side Hustle Society. So it's a monthly membership that I go in and I teach in-depth training. So I'm going to give you tons of value in training here too. But if you want even more in-depth training about how to build a six-figure business, then you want to join that membership. And if you're interested, you can send me a message and I will send you the link to join. So what I did was I built a membership and I opened my business January of 2016. And by the end of January, I had about 400 members in that membership. So literally it took me a month to monetize from the time that I built something that I actually charged for. But I did spend 3, 4, 5 months nurturing my audience first before I asked for any sale, right? Then what I did was I opened that membership. We had about 400 members sign up within a month. And by the 8th month mark, I was making 6 figures and was able to retire my 6-figure soul-sucking corporate America job. So you can easily, in my opinion, realistically build a 6-figure online business within 6 to 12 months if you have the right mentorship, right? So if you have the right mentorship and you have somebody who is teaching you how to do it, and they're holding your hand and taking you along the way and teaching you what to do, what not to do, you can build a 6-figure business within 6 to 12 months. So for those of you who are interested in building a 6-figure business, then I invite you to come join me in my Side Hustle Society. And I do trainings in there that teaches you in depth how to build that 6-figure business within 6 to 12 months. If you're interested, send me the link or send me a message and then I'll send you the link. Okay? All right, ladies. So we're going to leave it at that. Remember okay? All right, ladies, I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your time. I know time is the most precious commodity that we all have, so I don't take it lightly that you spent this last, it's been like 45 minutes with me. I appreciate you, ladies, so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Boss Ladies Mindset channel powered by Crown for Success. Please tune in next week for another episode, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at RVP Queens, at The Girl Gang Confidential, at Crown for Success, at Strong Women Are Beautiful, and of course at Boss Ladies Mindset.